That's 7. Online people are able to see the screen. Online people are able to see the screen. Thank you. Guys, see how to open the developer console here. What is that? User. Within that, developer console is there. If you click that, one pop-up is coming. Okay. This is the developer console. Here, you are writing your code. There is other approach also there, but it is a pop-up, right? So there is 2 windows. So that's the reason what I will do. First of all, I am going to the Lightning experience. I need to open as a second tab. Okay, that's the reason I'm going to the Lightning application. Here, settings, developer console is there, right? See, right click, open new tab. So this right click is not working in the classic. So that's the reason I came like this. Okay. Now here again go to classic. So this is classic. This is my developer console in the second tab. Okay, now I'm switched together. So now that's 7. What is this? Okay. So here, if you want to write the logic for confirmation or testing purpose, okay, whether you are writing whatever logic you are written, that is correct or not. First of all, you need to test it. So for that purpose, debug anonymous window. Anonymous means anybody use it. Okay, click on that. Here it is coming. Now, as we discussed yesterday, class means which is having some properties and its actions. That is called class. So that is the replication of the object, right? In the real time, we call it the object. Here it's a class. Now, every class having properties and its actions, right? First of all, how to declare the property. So here we call it as a variables, right? So that's the reason yesterday we are explaining the variables. See, in the normal way, length is equal to 70 is a variable. How to declare the variable? If you want to declare the variable in our Salesforce, first of all, we need to allocate the memory, right? If you want to allocate the memory, but the problem here is our memory storage is huge. To retrieve the particular variable is very difficult. It is taking long time, huge time. So that's the reason these people are introduced before variable one data type. So first, what is meant by variable means variable is a name. It represents some particular memory location. Particular memory location. Within the memory location, variable value is there. Our data value is there. Now you need to tell that, hey, where to store this variable value in the memory. So randomly, if it is stored, it is very difficult to fetch the data and store the data. So that's the reason before every variable, for example here, I is equal to or length. See, yesterday I wrote this, but it is not there. Why? Because it is a temporary code. Understand? container length is equal to 10. So container length is equal to 10 means 10 is a data we need to store one memory location. That memory location name is container length. Clear? Now in the memory location where to store. So in the memory location, that type of the data, it is a round number. Round number means go and, hey, runtime engine, go and store this data temporarily, not permanently. Store this data in the integer block. So that's the reason we need to use which type of data you sorry. So this is tells to the runtime engine which type of data we are storing in this variable. So that's the reason this is called data type. What is that? Data type. Data type means which type of data we need to store in particular variable, that is called data type. Understand? Here integer is a data type. Runtime engine understand, oh, 10 is a integer type. That means I need to go to the integer block and store 10. That memory location name is container length. Same like sorry. Container width is equal to, for example, 6.5. Now 6.5 is not round number. Then we need to store this in different block, right? Different memory location. So already Salesforce provided another data type for decimals. That is, what is the data type? Decimal is a data type. Understand? So integer, decimal. Only numbers are either round numbers or decimals. These are the two data types. Okay. Now slowly we will add one by one, guys. Now what is that other? Container height is equal to 5. Now 5 is a round number. Round number means, see, integer, decimal, there is an intent. Intent means it is changing the color. That means it is a preserved keywords. Understand? You need to use as it is. Okay? So these are the keywords. Now variables are declared. Okay? We'll see. Just copy it. Now, as of now, it is like a paper, guys. It is like a paper. Whenever you run it, what happened? The runtime engine come to the picture and allocating the memory. Understand? How allocating the memory? First, the runtime engine check the first statement. I all told you, code is executed first line, second line, third line, up to n lines. But in the first line, right to left. Understand? So that means the runtime engine see that, oh, 10 is equal to container length. What is the data type? Integer. Then it is going to the integer block and store the 10 value. The memory location name is, put that memory location name is container length. But how much? The runtime engine is allocating the memory. So previously we discussed compiler is checking your syntax. For example, if it is a miss, this is the miss. First who will come? Compiler. Compiler check your code. So semicolon, I all told you every sentence, every line ending with the semicolon. Now see who will come to picture? Compiler. What is that? Line 1, unexpected token container length. Who will give this message? Compiler. So that's the reason it is an error. Understand? Code is correct. Now once compiler check everything, for example here integer R is missing. Who will check that? Compiler. Execute first, compiler come to the picture. See line number 3, it is clearly tells to us, hey, line number 3 there is an issue, invalid type. Type means data type. What is that? Int Z, right? So now you can understand, oh, line number 3 there is an issue. That means invalid type. Oh, this is the issue. Understand? It is not 100% accurately said. It is approximately said. This is the issue. You need to understand depending on your practice, guys. Okay. Sometimes line number, for example, 1000 lines of the code. Within that 700 is a problem, but it is showing 699. Understand? You need to check either top or bottom as well. Understand? Now, integer. If you click on that again, compare check all the 3 lines. 3 lines are good. Then runtime engine allocating the memory. Compiler is checking your syntaxes. Runtime engine is what about that? Executing your program. That means if you want to execute your program, how much memory it is allocated, where to store, where to put the data, and how to get the data, and everything will be done by the runtime engine. Understand? Now we'll see whenever it is executed, the execution, how it is executed, one log is created. That means what is the execution process in the backend. Okay, we are already written 3 lines of the code. We are declaring 3 variables, right? Open that. See here, application unknown. Why? Because it is a anonymous. Anonymous means anybody. So that's the reason it is not dependent. The code is not related to any application. Operation, tooling, that is one. Time, when it is executed, this is the time. Status, success. Okay. Read, nobody see this log. Understand? Who run this? Naresh. This is the basic information of the log. Double click on that. Now see user info. Who did this? Second one is execution started. Okay, who started the execution? Runtime engine, not compiler. Understand? Runtime engine started the execution. Code unit started. Okay, where? In the anonymous window. Variable scope begin. So first variable, see, this is the third. It is the third. Container height, then 1 container length. See, container height is integer, container length is equal to integer, container width is equal to decimal. First of all, it is identify all the 3 variables related to what is the type. Okay, then 79. This is the, what about that? Runtime engine code. Okay, leave it. Again come to line number 1. Statement executed. See, sorry. Here. Statement executed. Which statement? Line number 1. Again, statement executed. Line number 1. Heap allocated. Line number 1. Heap means memory. Line number 1 bytes. How many? How much bytes? 4. First, it is identified the what is the data type. One is integer, second one is integer, one is decimal. Then, we have 2 integers, 1 decimal. Then it is again go to the first line number 1. If it is an integer, then it is allocating 4 bytes. Whenever it is allocating, then empty space is created. Then the 10 value, put it in that empty space. So that is the second one. See, variable assignment, memory assignment and variable value. Container length 10 is assigned. So here see variable assignment. That means in that variable the 10 is assigned. Understand? Again next statement executed, second statement. Then heap allocated bytes 3. Why 3? Why 3? Here it is a decimal. Understand? But always it is not constant, guys. Integer always 4, but decimal will be changed. Okay? Now, bytes 3. Heap allocated. Again, line number 2, how much? 28 bytes is allocated. Understand? So now 6.5 occupies 28 bytes. Understand? Again, line number 3. Again, it is integer. 4 bytes. Allocating 5. So now total in our program, how much memory is allocated? In our program, how much memory is allocated? 2 integer, 4 plus 4, 8 plus 24, 32. 32 bytes of the memory allocated in our program. If you are asked any more than 15 years of experience people also, those guys don't know how much memory is allocated. So that's the reason, please learn the subject. Understand? So in this program, it is allocating how much space. If anybody asks me, hey, how much memory, for example, that guy writing on code, how much memory is allocated? Memory always allocated to the variables. Understand? Go to the debug log and check that line, line number 2, line number 5, line number 6, line number 7, something like that, and calculate all those things. Understand? This is the interview question, guys, in the Google. Okay? Yeah. Now, so after that, don't require. Okay. So memory is allocated. Okay. Memory is allocated. Now it is ready to whatever we are already stored in the temporary memory. Okay. Now you need to write your logic. What is the logic? Volume of the volume of the container volume is equal to, what is the formula? Don't write it, just copy paste. Why? Because if you are missing any character, again there is a problem. Container length, don't put into directly here. Okay, just readable space star, again space. Why? Because it is a readable format. Okay, container where with, sorry, that's what I told you, no? If you are not put that space, it is messy. So that's the reason. Now every line ends with the semicolon. This is the formula. But this is again one more variable, right? This is one more variable. Why? Because all the length, width, height, if you are calculated, then we are getting new result, right? So that new result again you need to store somewhere. That means this is the variable you need to, if you want to store, you need to tell them that variable is stored where? Where to store now? Memory. So where to store? Which block we need to store that variable? Integer or decimal? Why decimal? Integer into decimal, right? So that is our, now what about that? Up to our skill, guys. Okay. So integer into integer, integer into decimal, always decimal. 2 into 3, 2 integer 6 integer. 2 into 2.5 is equal to 5.0, or 2 into 2.6 5 point something, right? Always integer into decimal is equal to decimal. So that's the reason you need to add, what is the data type? Decimal. Okay. Now again you need to run this code. See, this is the one, the first one. Okay. The recent one is this. Debug it. Sorry. Again same story. 1 4 bytes, second line 3 bytes, 28 bytes, 6.5, third line 4 bytes, 5 is the value. Then container volume is at 28 bytes. What is the value? 325.0. This is the result. This is the result. 5 container volume to the, how much it is? 325.0. How much space it is occupied? 28. Now the total memory is 4 plus 4 plus 28 plus 28. Understand? 3 variables, 2 integers, 2, 4, 4. 2 decimals, 28, 28. That is the total space occupied by our program. Understand? But Total space occupied 4, 4, 28, 28. Total 64 bytes. Okay, guys, please understand, whenever you are writing any program, you need to utilize, for example, simple guys, in our hard disk is, for example, 200 GB. Okay, if it is a empty, it is a new hard disk, whenever you are uploading any movie, that time is very, what about that, within the less than it will be stored. For example, almost 200 GB, like 199 point something already occupied, now you need to add. Okay, or for example, you need to retrieve all 200 GB already filled, then you need to retrieve the particular data. Okay, it is taking more time. Why? Because it is a heavy load already in the hard disk filled. Within the hard disk, already filled hard disk, you need to retrieve some content. Understand? In that case, it is, what about that? Is go to the hard disk and check where it is. Understand? So that's the reason. What about that? The buffering or something is happened. The system will be slowed down, right? Same concept applied, guys, in our programming as well. While you are writing any program, you need to utilize less memory first. Less memory. Why less memory? For example, here, how much space it is? 64. Only 4 lines of the code, it is taking 64 bytes. What about 1000 lines of the code? What about 10,000 lines of the code? In the real time, we are writing more than 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 lines of the code. Right? In that case, it is going to the more than MBs. Right? So, maximum, nobody taking care, but if you are taking care, your program will be, your project will be succeeded. Performance. See, for example, if you listen, like so many people are saying that we are already delivered the program, but it is very slow. We are already installing some applications, guys, but hey, this application is not good. Why? Because application is good, but if you click the button, it is rendering. Why? Because the back end, it is consuming more memory. Whenever it is consuming more memory, if it store the all the data, and if you are retrieving, again it is going to the total memory and face the particular data, it is taking lot of time. So that's the reason, while you are writing any program, you can utilize less memory. Output is same, but performance will be impacted. Okay, while you are writing any program, first of all, you need to, every time, each and every line of the code, you need to remember, we need to utilize the less memory. Then only application performance will be increased. Understand? So here, see guys, here, this is 4 bytes. This is the comment, guys, it is not executed. This is 28 bytes. This is 4 bytes. But result always, see, in the program level, result always, for example, the calculator, guys. In the calculator, for example, I am entering length, width, height. If you click the is equal to, the result is coming. Right? The result is coming. That means the result I am able to see. I am able to see the result. I don't want to store the result. In this case, I don't want to store this data in the variable. I want to see the result. Right? So then what I will do, instead of creating this, I'm just displaying the result directly. How? If you want to display the result for debug purpose, and that means you need to see that as a developer, our code is correct or not. You need to see that. For that purpose, these people are providing one syntax, guys. I will explain you later. As of now, you can use it. System.debug. Don't ask what it is. Just for display purpose. The result, if you want to display the result, you can use system.debug. This is the syntax. I will explain you in the detailed way. Now, within the debug, whatever you are provided, automatically it is displayed. Okay. Now I want to display this. That's it. Understand? So what happened? These three data will be stored in the memory, but this is not stored in the memory. Why? We are just displaying, calculated and directly displayed. Now see, guys, previously, if you remember, previous log and this log, this is the previous log. Here, if you see, container length occupies 4, container width occupies 28, container height occupies 4, container volume occupies 28. 4 variables. Now, container length 4, container width 28, container height 4. There is no variable. There is no variable. That means there is no variable means it is not allocating the memory. Internally it is allocating, but it is not utilized. Understand? That means that 28 bytes are, what about that, reduced. Now in this program, what happened? This 28 is reduced. Whenever 28 is reduced, 64 minus 28, 36. So, two people are writing the same code. One guy utilizing the 64 bytes, one guy utilizing the output is same. Both the cases output is same. But one guy is 36, one guy is 64. Which one is good? 36. But seems like every program, both the guys program output is same. But performance will be so much of difference. That is the, what about that skill of the good developer. Understand why the Google people are hired talented people means IIT or something. Those people are knows these concepts. Understand? We saw that, hey, that guy also doing the same thing. I'm also doing the same thing. If you are doing, if the same task, that guy, what about that? If you are good programmer, one guy did in the, what about that, 5 lines of the code, the another guy did in the 50 lines of the code. The worst guy did that 500 lines of the code. So output is in the all the scenario, output is same, but the way of the lines of the code, the way of the writing of the code, and the way of the utilizing the memory, everything will be, what about, you need to see that. Understand? So, but as a programmer or someone, these people are don't know, hey, that guy also doing the same thing, I'm also doing the same thing in the whatever UI level. But in the back end, these guys are don't know what is the difference. Understand? Even today also, in my company or whatever may be, guys, still more than 15 years of experience, people also don't know, can I use in this situation variable or not, something like that. The memory management and everything. Understand? So please learn it. Okay, guys? So, okay. Now this is the memory. So, as we discussed, don't use the unnecessary variables in your program. If it is required, then only you can utilize it. Otherwise, don't create unnecessary variables. If you are creating one variable unnecessarily, then the memory will be increased. Understand? Please note down if possible. Now, this is the one. Now, guys, see, these three are, please understand, these three are, what about that? In the real time, properties. This is the formula. This is the logic, right? We are already discussed one definition, put the properties and its actions into the single unit, that is called class, right? But here, this is the new structure. These are the properties and it is an action. Action means some logic. Both are in one area, right? This structure is called class. Now, this is the, what about that? Temporary one. Once you are close it, this code is gone. But how to put this code in the what about that stored way. Understand? Now you need to write this logic in the class level. Why class? Class is having properties and its actions. So it is a permanent solution of the code. Understand? So now what I will do, this logic is working fine. Now you need to create this as a class. Why class? Class is having properties and its actions. Okay? How to create the class? File, new, Apex class. Why Apex class? We are using the Apex programming language. So that's the reason it is a Apex class. It is asking what is the class name. So this class is belongs to which object? Container object. So that's the reason I am using container class. Understand? Container class. See the naming convention. Here there is a two words, container class. So but in the variable declaration, first word starting with the small letter, the second, third, fourth up to n starting with the capital. But here in the class always starting with the, what about that? Every word starting with the capital. That is the difference. While you are creating the class, you must start with letter capital. While you are creating the variable, you must start the variable, the starting word must be small. Understand? See guys, simple. Once you got the job, in the first day or second day, the way of you are writing the code, we are easily identified whether you are fake or not. So that's the reason you need to take care of this. From starting onwards, you need to habituate with this. Then you will become a good programmer. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So now, see, what is that? Public, leave it as of now, I will explain you. Class is a keyword. So for example, assuming that same like guys, this is the container is a variable here. Here container class is a class name. Before that, we are telling that, hey, go to the integer block. That means it is the runtime engine identified, oh, it is a one variable because of this data type, this keyword. Same like runtime engine come to here, oh, it is once it is read this, the runtime engine doesn't understand what it is. Again, it is going to the next, oh, class, oh, that means this is the class. Understand? Like that, it is understand the runtime engine depending on that keyword. Okay, here it is understand, oh, it is an integer, then I am going to the integer. Here it is understand, oh, class, oh, this is the class. That means in this class something is there. Okay, so this is the class syntax. Forget about the public, I will explain you later, not now. That is a different story. Okay, so class syntax is public, class, these two are the keywords, and class name whatever belongs to. Within the class, we already discussed every class having properties and its actions. Where is the properties? These are the properties. Copy paste. Control A. See the alignment. Shift tab. Just Control A. Control means copy the entire class. Shift tab. Okay, automatically aligned. Some people are writing nonsense code, guys. Even still in my say, this is like this, this is like this. Okay, it is not readable. I am irritated actually in that case. Okay, I am irritating so much. So, as a good programmer, first of all, you need to align your code properly. Then only whenever you are facing any issue, you can easily understand where it is. If that alignment is not good, it is first of all we are not able to touch the code. Okay, so that's the reason, please align properly. Simple. You don't want to align, Control A, shift, press the shift and tab, automatically align. Now see, this is the properties, right? This is the properties in the object level, but in the class level it is a variables. Okay, now see, how do you know whether it is saved or not? Here, see in this tab, there is a star mark is there, and also it is a orange color. That means it is not saved. How to save? How to save? There is a two ways. The first way is file save. This is the first way. See, saving. It is saving. Saving means first compiler checking the code. Once everything good, the code is saved. For example, I am removing semicolon. See, star is coming. That means code is not saved. Now, file save. Whenever I click the save, who will come to the picture? Compiler and check all the code. See, it is not saved. Now, see here. In the below, there is a problems tab. Here it is sending the message. What is that? Container class missing line number 5, missing semicolon. Line number 5, but line number 5 there is no semicolon. Then come to little bit up. This is the line. I already told you it is not exactly say that it is appropriate location. Okay. Now you can understand. Oh, here it is missing. Who will send this? Compiler. That's the reason it is an error. See, I'm not saving. Automatically this problem will be gone. There is some intent. Okay. Now, guys, are you able to see my screen? Online people. Online people, are you able to see my screen? Akila, can you check your end? All the people able to see except you. Can you check your end? Yeah. Now, again, what is that? File, save. Every time click on the file, save. It is very difficult. Okay. So that's the reason. See, in the save, Control S. Just click here. Every time Control S. Whenever Control S, compiler come to the picture and check your code. Everything good, it is saved. The star has gone. That means your code is saved. Understand? So now, as per our class definition, we are put the properties in our class. But where is the actions? Properties are there. On the top of we replace the properties and get the result. That means you need to write your own logic. Where to write the logic? In the actions. Right? So if you want to perform any action in the class level, so we will use one syntax called method. What is that? Method. Within the method only you need to write your logic. Here, see, here we are writing directly. Why? Because this is not a class. It is an anonymous window. Where you need to write whatever you want, but it's a temporary. Once you close this, the code will be gone. But this is the permanent code. Okay, you need to move. This is the live environment. So in the class level, as per our definition, class is nothing but which is having properties and its actions. Properties we know how to declare. Variable name before the data type and variable value. Now I need to write the logic. What is that? Length into width into height. That is our own custom logic, right? If you want to perform any logic on top of properties, we are using method. What is that? Method. How to create the method? Space. Method always starting with public. It will be changed again. I will tell you. Public void. Void means I will tell you. Now, what is the action, guys? Calculate container. Calculate volume, right? So the appropriate name you can provide that. Calculate volume. Volume. Open bracket, closed bracket, open flower, closed flower. This is the syntax of the method. If you want to write any logic, this is common. Only you can change method name. If it is a calculate of the volume, for example, if you want to calculate area, whatever it is. For example, here you can use ABC. ABC also one method. So you need to use appropriate naming convention. So this method is belongs to calculating the container volume. So that means calculate container volume. Okay, understand? So method always starting with the public. It will be changed. I will tell you the what is that. This is called return type. What is that? Return type. What is meant by return type? I will explain you now. Then this is your naming convention of the this method belongs to what? What is the purpose? The appropriate name. Okay, this one. Now again you need to save. It is saved. Now within this method, you need to write your logic. Understand? So now as per our definition, class contains properties and its actions. This is the action. Action means within the action you need to write whatever you want. What is our logic? What is the logic? Container length into then container width into container height. Please remember, always you can declare, for example here I am declaring one variable. What is it? Decimal some d. As of now I don't want to write anything. So this is your logic. Again control S. Okay, now guys, variable does not exist means there is a syntactical issue while you are declaring the variable. So guys, see here, this is the method. Understand? Now this is your logic. As here the formula is length into width into height. In the other formula, length into some minus, width minus some blah blah blah. You need to write whatever the logic. That this logic is up to your skill, guys. Understand? This logic, for example, in our exams or whatever, if you will get one problem, one guy is solving in the different way, other guy is solving in the different way, third guy is solving the different way. So here also, this logic is depending on your practice and depending on your knowledge and everything. Everyone, nobody will write the same logic for same task. Everybody writing their own logic as per their knowledge. Understand? So that's the reason here you need to based on here you need to apply your skill. How efficient way you need to write your logic. Understand? That logic is not technical. That is up to your academic skills or whatever it may be. Understand? So that's the reason like IBM or TCS, these people are as a freshers, those people are so many people are having some doubts. What about that? Even me also. Whenever I'm attending as a fresher IBM or something, those people are first of all, I'm very good in the Java or something, guys. But those people are in the first entry level. Those people are what about that? Conducting the arithmetic. What about that exam? I'm very poor at that time. Okay, so my confusion is I'm going to the technical way. Why these people are tested my whatever logical, whatever arithmetic skills. Arithmetic skills means it is a logic. Understand? If you know the good in the arithmetic or something, it is very easy for us. Logic is very easy. Understand? So that's the reason. Please remember our academics, whatever we learn, that will be useful here. Okay? Don't segregate both are in two paths. Both are same path. Understand? Whatever you learn up to now as academics, you can apply the same brain here. Then you will succeed it. Now, guys. So this is what about that logic. Now I want to see the result. For example, here decimal result. Okay. Now I want to see this result. If you want to see, you can use this syntax as of now. What is that? Container volume is, that means in the debug whatever you are put, always see the same thing will be coming as a output, guys. See, it is displayed container volume is value, right? Plus means container volume is a one text plus your value is result. So then what is the output is coming? Container volume is whatever it is calculated, 30 or 40 or 50 or something. So this is the syntax. Understand? So now here now this is the class, this is the properties, this is the action. Within the action I am writing my own logic. But how to execute it? In the developer console, directly go here. This is my logic. Execute button is there. If you are executing, automatically memory is allocated, and one by one runtime engine allocating the memory, and here calculating and get the result. But here there is no execute button. Why the people are not provide the execute button? Understand? But how to execute? If you are executing what? If you are executing this method, then our logic is executed. Whenever our logic is executed, this statement is coming. That's what we require, right? So how to execute this program? Okay, again I will tell you, this is the class, guys, right? This is the class. So please understand here, if you click on the execute, then only runtime engine come and execute our program, right? Here the logic is only one. This is the logic. So it is calculating logic and get the result. For example, what happened? This is another logic, guys. Assuming that here minus something, okay? For example, here divides. Now, how many results are coming? 3. Forget about the length, what about that volume or something. So these are the properties. These are the 3 different logic. Now we'll see. I'm just executing this. See, 325, 6th line, 7th line, 2 minus 2, 22.5, 9th line, 33, 13. So that means 3 results are coming. But forget about the IT, guys. Okay. For example, we are going to the ATM. Always all the people knows, right? How ATM look like. Right? Tell me, this is the screen. Whenever you are if you are visit the ATM, what is the first screen? Welcome to the SBI or welcome to the HDFC something. Then what we will do? Insert the card. Here, whenever you are put your card, what happened? The next screen is coming. What is that? What is that, guys? Enter your PIN or something, right? It is asking, or it is not first it is welcome Ashok or something, then it is displayed some options. Wrong is some options or something, okay? Once you are enter the PIN or whatever it may be, these are the different options, right? Assuming that we are in this screen, okay, how many options are there? 6 options means first one is withdrawn, second one is change the mobile number, third one is mini statement, fourth one blah blah blah, right? So at a time, how many? This is, see, these all are services, right? That means all are like buttons. At a time, how many buttons you are utilizing? Only one. Not put all the 6 buttons at a time, right? Understand? So at a time, you are utilizing only one button. And come to little bit of this button means this is internally. For example, here withdrawal. Withdrawal, something. Withdrawal means withdrawal. If you click the button, internally withdrawal having some logic. That logic we already know. All the logic put it in the class, within the class method. So that means, understand guys, this is the class. This is the class. Within the class, forget about that. I don't want to add all the variables. See here. Withdrawal is a one method in the back end. Understand guys how it is look like. If you click on that, it is called this method. Is the method right? It is called that method. In that method, as a programmer, we are writing the logic. Understand? Again, this is the mini statement, something. If you click on that mini statement, then here in the backend class, one method is there in the class. Only if you click on this method is executed. Same like some X method. I don't want to write all the methods. Some Y method. Some Z method. Resume them. So if you click on this option, it is calling this method. If you click on this option, it is calling this method. If you click on this option, it is calling this method. If you click on this option, it is calling another method. Clear? So now you can understand why we are writing the method. Method means in the screen, wherever you are go, if you click the button or if you click the link or whatever it may be, internally it is executing our logic. Our logic always we are put it in the method. Our method always we are put it in the class. Understand? That means whenever you are writing logic, first of all you need to create the class. Within that you need to write the method. In that method defines what is the action need to perform. Clear guys? But here please understand, here how many options? 6 options, right? At a time we are not using 6 buttons. We are using only one button. For example, here same thing I will apply here. One, this is 2. Different methods. This logic is minus, this logic is some plus something. Okay, different logics. Now how many methods are there? 3 methods are there. So as a, what about that, as a common as per our common sense, in the ATM example, at a time we are not utilizing all the buttons. At a time we are utilizing the only one button. That means at a time here also we are not utilizing the 3 methods. We are not utilizing 3 methods. At a time we are utilizing only one method. That is the real time, right? So for example, if you click on the save, memory automatically allocated. Assume that memory automatically allocated. That means how much memory is allocated when you are click on the save button. Assuming that this is a 4 bytes, this is 28 bytes, this is a 4 bytes plus, assume that this is the 4 bytes, this is 4 bytes, this is the 4 bytes. Total 32, this is the 12, right? 34, 44. 32, 32, 36. 36 plus 12. 38, 48. And bytes are occupied. But in the real time, we are not utilizing all the methods at a time. For example, here 10 methods are there. Every method occupies 10 MB, sorry, 10 bytes, assuming that. Guys, little bit, it is a theoretical. See guys, here every method occupies 10 bytes. How many methods are there? Assuming that 10 methods are there. While you are click on whatever saving the fx class, while you are saving the fx class like this, assume that our system will be, our runtime engine will be allocating the all the memory to the all the variables as well as methods. Then what happened in this case? 10 bytes, each method 10 bytes, 10 methods, total 100 bytes. The run, while you are saving the, what about that class, 100 bytes automatically occupied. But I am not using 10 methods at a time. I am using only one method at a time. Understand? That means out of 100 bytes, I am utilizing only 10 bytes. The remaining 90 is waste, right? The remaining 90 is not utilized. So that means application performance will be decreased. Clear? As of now, total, assume that in our project, how 10 methods are there. Okay, 10 methods means assuming that each and every method 10 bytes. So 10 methods into 10 bytes, 100 bytes it is occupied. Assume that while you are saving the code, the runtime engine allocating to the all the methods. So 100 bytes is occupied. But in the real time scenario, we are going to, for example, you are open any railway site or whatever may be. At a time you are click on only one button. You are not using multiple mouse at a time. You are click on all the buttons at a time, right? Understand? For example, here in the keyboard also, at a time you are click on only one button. You will not press all the buttons at a time, right? That is also one function, guys, one method. So as per our common sense, even though here in our class 10 methods are, or 100 methods or 1000 methods, at a time we are using one method. So that's the reason those people are, what about that? Our not Salesforce people, our technical people, assuming that 10 methods or 100 methods, but practically we are using at a time only one method. So those people are doing what they're doing, whenever you are click the button, at the time only that method only allocating the memory, remaining is not allocated. In the ATM screen 10 options are there. Whatever the button you are click, that method only memory allocated, the remaining buttons not allocating the memory. That means instead of 100 bytes, if you click the first button, then only 10 bytes are allocated. The remaining all are, there is no memory. Once this process is done, that means this memory is empty. If you click on this, then this method only allocating the memory. The remaining is not allocated. That means in the entire functionality, in the entire screen, every time we are allocating only 10 bytes. But previously, while you are saving the class, if you are allocating the memory, 100 bytes are occupied, but at a time we are using only 10 bytes. 90 bytes are wastage. That means application performance will be decreased. So this concept is called dynamic memory allocation. We are had, but we don't know, right? What is that? If you dynamic memory allocation means which functionality you are using, only that function, that method, the runtime engine allocating the memory. Okay, once the function is done, the memory will be, what about that, removed. So this concept is called, what is that? Dynamic memory allocation. While, see, that's the reason it is an object oriented programming language. Why? Because, see guys, here in the C, all the in the C, that is the C, for example, the same thing in the C programming language, when you will save the code, all the all the methods in the C, we call it as a functions. What is meant by function and method, I will tell you. In the C, there is no classes. In the C, we have structures. Structure, within the structure there is the actions are there. The actions are called functions. Here in our case it is a class. Within the class what are the actions are there? We call it is a method. Simple guys, function and method both are same. In the C you need to write the logic in the function. In object oriented programming language you need to write the logic in the method. Understand? So method always there within the class. Now in the C, while you are writing the program, if you click the save, all the methods are allocating the memory. That is called static memory allocation. Static memory. So that's the reason whatever the performance wise it is not good. So what happened after some whatever that some generations, these people are introducing the object oriented programming language. What is meant by that? Whatever you are utilizing, that functionality only available allocating the memory. Okay, so how? If you click the button, the runtime engine, which method you need to use? Only that method the runtime engine is allocating the memory. Understand? The remaining is it is not allocated. This is called dynamic memory allocation. So static memory allocation, dynamic memory allocation. While you are saving the code, if all the methods having the memory, that is called static memory. For static memory means always if you are use or not use, memory already there. Okay, it is useless. Understand? The application performance will be decreased. So that's the reason in the object oriented programming language, these people are whatever that introducing, whenever you are utilizing any method, that method only the runtime engine allocating the memory. Once everything done, result is coming, after that the memory will be removed. Understand? So if you click the button or if you call the method, whenever you are using this method, then only that method how much space it is required, the runtime engine calculated and allocate the memory. Once everything done, then result is come to the user, then it is whatever that reallocate the memory. Clear? This concept is called dynamic memory allocation. So here how many methods are there? 3. I all told you while you are saving the class, it is like a normal paper. There is no memory. It is like text. Okay, runtime engine don't know. It is a program. Why? Because runtime engine not come to the picture. You need to tell them to the runtime engine, hey runtime engine, I need this calculation. I need that result. Okay? You need to, as of now, there is no memory guys. Why? It is a dynamic memory allocation concept. Understand? It is an object-oriented programming language. The object-oriented programming language, while you are creating the class, the memory will not allocate it. It is just on the paper how to write the like one whatever the statement. Same like here also in the notepad you are entering some text, right? The notepad text and this one both are same. The difference is here already this code is validated by the compiler. But here there is no memory. Now you need to tell that, hey, my requirement is I need to call this method. Why? Because I need container volume. Understand? So now you need to tell that runtime engine, hey, I am using this method, you need to allocate the memory. Clear? We need to tell them to the runtime engine. As a person, we need to tell them to the runtime engine, hey, this is the class. Within the class, I don't want to call all the methods. I need this method. I need this logic. What is the logic? Container volume is. I need container volume. That means you need to call this method. How to tell them, hey runtime engine, please allocate the memory and execute that method. Understand? How to tell them to the runtime engine. Why? Because runtime engine is the only person to allocate the memory to execute our program. You need to inform to the runtime engine. How? Here, it is a test environment, right? So here first, in this case, we are creating the whatever that UI and create the buttons and everything. As of now, we are not creating any pages and something, right? We need to test our program. So that's the reason here what I will do. Which class you need to use first? Which class? So first of all, I need to call this method. I need to this result. So this result means this method where it is there? Here, container. Okay, copy the class and I will explain you why the bracket you need to put. I will explain you not now. Okay, there is some other memory allocations are there. This is the class. In the end, we are using the bracket like a method. Okay, close it. Now you need to add one keyword new. What is that? New. New means whenever you are executing this statement, how many statements are there? One. Right? One statement is there. If you click on the execute, as per our fundamentals, first runtime engine comes to the first line and execute right to left. What is the right? Oh, container class. It is checking new. New is a different color. That means it is a preserved keyword. Whenever it is seeing the new, that means it is identified. Oh, I need to allocate the memory to this class. I need to allocate the memory to this class. But I said, what about that? I don't want the memory to the all the class. Right? All the class means within the class, all the methods. I want to allocate the memory to the particular method only. Understand? For example, if it is whenever I run this, what is that? New means memory allocation keyword, memory allocation variable. So runtime engine see that, oh, new means I need to allocate the memory to whom? This class. Is this? So then whenever you run this, it is allocating the memory. But allocating the memory means here 3 variables are there, 3 methods are there. By whom it is allocating memory? 3 variables plus 3 methods. If it is 3 variables are fine. If it is allocating the memory to the 3 methods, but I am not using all the methods at a time. I am using only one method. For example, in my class 100 methods are there. While I am using this statement, this syntax, if it is allocating all the 100 methods, it is waste of memory. That's what we discussed, right? So that's the reason runtime engine is not allocating to the methods. Only runtime engine in this statement, runtime engine allocating the memory to the, what about that? These variables only. It is not allocating the memory to the methods. That means how much memory it is allocated? How much memory, guys? Only variables means the first variable is 4, second variable is 28, third variable is 4. It is not allocating to the methods. Why? Methods, there are so many methods are there. Which method you are using? The runtime engine don't know. Understand? So, for example, it is allocated, see, container class, it is allocating the memory. So, it is going to the memory. For example, this is the memory. Here, it is allocating to the class. Memory is allocating to the class. Within the class, so many things are there. Previously, we are allocating the memory to the variable something. But here now, we need to tell them to the runtime engine, hey, allocating the memory to my class. But runtime engine is allocating the memory to the only within the class variables, not methods. Understand? Very, very clean in this, what about that scenarios, guys? Okay? Whenever you are using new keyword before the class name, the runtime engine allocating the memory to the class variables. Okay? What are the class variables? These 3. It is not allocating the methods. Why? Methods may be multiple. I am not using all the methods at a time. So that's the reason it is not allocating the memory to the methods. So always, interview question, guys, always new keyword allocating the memory to the class variables. Okay? Now, For example, it is allocating the memory to this class. So this is the memory location. This is the memory. Okay. Previously we discussed that. 10. See here. Previously we discussed, okay, 10 is a memory location. This is the memory location. That name is container length. But here also, in this case, it is allocating the memory. Where is the memory? This is the memory. We need to give the memory space name. That means one variable. That name is, you need to add some variable name. What is that? OBJ. Okay. OBJ is this memory location name. But please observe, this one and this one both are same. This is also memory location name. It is hold one value. So that's the reason we call it as a variable. This is hold not only particular value. It is hold a group of values. Why? The container having container length, container width, all the group of values in memory is having this variable. So that's the reason this is called instance. What is that? Instance. Instance means memory allocated, whatever the space name. Understand? So now OBJ. Here container length is an integer. Why? It is integer block. But here OBJ is a which block? It is not an integer, it is not a decimal, it is not a string. But what is the type? You need to tell them to the runtime engine. Hey, this OBJ is a which type? It is holding which information? Container class information. So that's the reason before that you need to tell them it is a container class information. This variable is false. So please observe, so many people don't know. Here instead of integer, here class is there. Instead of variable, here instance is there. Instead of value, here this syntax is there. Both are same, seems like. But here we called this one is a variable. Here we called it is a instance. Here it is a data type. Then it is also data type. But integer, who created this data type? System. Alright, that means it is a standard data type. This is also data type. But who created? Ours. So every class is a data type. Every class is a data type. But it is a maybe standard, some cases it is a custom. Reverse, guys. Reverse. This is the class. Then this is also class. Understand? Integer also class, but it is a data type. In the interview, those guys are asking data type. Data type belongs to, is a class. Why? If you are comparing this to this, if it is a class, then it is a class. Understand? But this class is defined by Salesforce people. This class is defined by ours as a program. This class is a standard class which is provided by the Salesforce. So that's the reason it is a standard class. It is a standard data type. This class is defined by ours. So that's the reason it is a custom data type. Every class is a custom data type. Every class is a data type. Okay. So maybe it is a standard or custom. So now the reverse engineering. Now here integer is a class. Decimal is a class. Integer also class. I already told you while you are writing any class, every class starting with the capital letter. So that's the reason I is a capital, D is a capital, I is a capital, C is a capital. All the whatever we learn, all are fulfilled now. Understand? Every data type is a class, maybe custom or standard. Now see, this is the memory. The memory name is this. What is the data type? This is the data type. That means this variable is called this information, the class information. Now we'll see, I need to execute. Now see guys, see variable, what is that variable? Obj. Variable obj, right? Our variable is this. This is the variable, right? Instance is a variable. Obj. Obj belongs to container class. Understand? Now 79 blah 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 blah, leave it. See line number 1. Come here. Line number 1, forget about that. Here see line number 1, container class. Line number 1, 16. Come down, come down, come down. Here see guys, container class. See constructor, I will tell you later. Container class. Here see statement executed 1 2. See second line. Second line, what is the second line of our class? This is the second line. How much it is? 4 bytes. 4. Third line 28. 28. See this, forget about the keywords and everything, we will learn later. So this is the, this got container width. See container length 10, container width 6.5, 28. Container height 5, 4 bytes. But these all the values, please remember, these all the memory. After that there is one, what is that? One code is coming. This is the memory location. See here, 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 all are same. 0x40cc 8790 8790 8790. Same memory location. All the variables are exist. Previously, integer container length in the different location. Container width. See previous example. Container length, container width, container height, all are in the different location. Now within the same location, how do you know same location? This is the address 0x, this is the address of the location, memory location. Within that location, that means here your length, your width, your height all are existing. Now all are clubbed together and that name is OBJ. Okay, that name is OBJ. That's it. See, OBJ holding, container height 5, container length 10, container width 6.5. Clear? Okay, guys, we'll see tomorrow. Okay, it is too late for me. If you have any questions, tomorrow we'll discuss, guys. Tomorrow may not be class. I will inform today night. Okay, every Saturday I have a business calls, guys, in US. So up to morning 5 to around like 9 o'clock. So that's the reason every Saturday in the next, okay, around like 6 months. That means maybe every Saturday holiday. Okay, but I will inform today, maybe this week or next week, I'm not sure. But please set your mind, every Saturday maximum 99% is a holiday. Only 5 days classes. That's it, guys. Okay, I have a business meetings. Okay, guys, I will inform to Shyam sir. Okay, otherwise in our what about that? What is that? Drive. In the drive, I need to add one text. Okay, what is that? Tomorrow class something. Tomorrow class something. Open that. Whether it is holiday or not, I will upload in the notepad or something. Okay, don't depend on others. Why? Because so many people are having the issue. I will upload. What about the group? What about the batch? 6, right? 6 and 7 and 6. Only 2 batches now. Okay, I will upload in the your respective Google Drive. You can check if today around like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock it is decided. Maybe after 12 or 1 o'clock I will upload. So please see early morning hours. Okay. Thank you, guys.